Hello, Sasu Flavors family. I'm a Sasu here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to my channel. Today, guys, I have a sweet treat for you. I'm going to show you how to make delicious apple crumb pie. But before we get started, go ahead and click that subscribe button, click the notification bell so you never miss a video when I push it out, guys. Yes, yes, yes. We are gonna make this crispy, crumbly, delicious Dutch apple pie, okay? So let's get started. First things first, go ahead and get your all-purpose organic flour. I'm using a little bit of cane sugar here, adding a little bit of salt, giving it a good mix, and then make sure your butter is ready to go. Make sure it's in the freezer and it's cold. I'm gonna use my food processor. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add my butter, and as you can see here, I cut my butter up into cubes. You add a little water in here, then you're gonna pulse it. Until it begins to look like this. Then you add some more water. Make sure for the water you just add in a tablespoon at a time, because you don't want to overdo it, and you're going to pulse, add water, and when it begins to look like this, like that, you know that it's good to go. Yes, yes, yes. Go ahead and get your plastic wrap, because we're gonna put this in the refrigerator overnight. You can make this 2-3 days in advance or the night before. And one thing I like to do is take my dough and roll it into a circle with the plastic on it, so that by the time I take it out later, it's easy to manage. Now let's get into making our apple pie filling. For this recipe, I'm gonna be using Granny Smith apple, because that's the apple of my choice. So you can use any apple that you like for your recipe, okay? Here I got all my stuff. Then we're gonna go ahead and peel our apples. And once you get finished peeling your apple, you want to go ahead and cut it and take the middle part out and cut it into medium strips. You do not want it too thin, and you don't want it too thick. Nobody wants any thick apple in their mouth, okay? Then you're going to go ahead and squeeze some fresh squeezed lemon juice on there, so that you can keep the nice bright white color of your apples and your apples don't look brown. Then you're going to go ahead and add some organic light brown sugar, some organic cane sugar. Then we're gonna add a little cinnamon, a little nutmeg, followed by some salt. You can use Himalayan or Kosher salt, okay? Give it a good mix. And after this, I'm gonna show you guys how to macerate your apple. And the process of macerating is it releases all of the juices and it tenderizes your apple. Versus you cooking it on the stove, you can just let it macerate for an hour to an hour and a half, and let me tell you, you will never have soggy apples in your apple pie, okay? So here, this is the liquid that was released. Oh my goodness. Let's go ahead and get our small pot on the stove, and you're gonna melt your butter, okay? Melt that butter, melt it, melt it, melt it. For this part of the recipe, you're gonna need cornstarch, you're gonna need the apple drippings, and you're gonna need a little water. Here, go ahead and add it. Then off camera, you're gonna see that the cornstarch has been added. Make sure you always mix your cornstarch with the water, okay? And when you begin to see your filling become thick like this, like that, yes, 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 thick and nice, you know it's ready to go. Yes, yes, yes. As soon as you see it thicken up, get it off of the stove. Go ahead and pour your filling over your apples, and let me tell you, this smells amazing. Don't forget, click that subscribe button if you like what you're seeing thus far. Give your girl a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and don't forget to share. Here is my secret ingredient, a little heavy cream. You know, it's apple pie. mix this in there, oh my goodness, it's gonna take your apple pie filling to a whole new level of flavor. Let me tell you, this is so yum, 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 yum. Set this to the side, and now we're gonna make our apple crumb topping. Here you're gonna put flour, you're gonna use some brown sugar, you're gonna use a little cinnamon, a little salt, and you gotta have your butter, okay? All the ingredients to this recipe is in the description box of this video. This is cold butter. Remember to put your butter in the freezer a bit, and it's gonna be so much more manageable. And because I don't want my butter to get warm, I'm gonna use my pastry blender, but you can use a food processor, or you can use your hands with a glove on and just break it up. You want to incorporate this into your flour. Don't worry if you see a little butter, it's okay, as long as you make sure you get rid of the big chunks of butter, and it has to look crumbly. It has to look like crumble, okay? I will even leave in the description box the type of flour I am using. Then you're gonna go ahead and cover this with a plastic wrap, put it in the refrigerator, and save it for later. Okay, then we're gonna go ahead and get our apple filling, our pie crust, excuse me. So here I took it out of the refrigerator, and I'm rolling it out some more because I want to form it where it fits into my 9-inch pie pan. So what I did, I just went ahead and dropped it with the rolling pin, and as you can see, it's acting like it's falling apart. That's why I like to keep the saran wrap right here, because it helps me to control it better. So here I'm not pulling on the dough, I'm pushing it to the frame of the pie shell. I'm pushing it there. I am not pulling it. You don't want to pull and stretch your dough, okay? So you're gonna go ahead and form it into the shape of your pie shell, and you're gonna notice you're gonna have more extra dough hanging off. You're gonna take that extra dough that's hanging off and fill the gaps. Fill the gaps and make sure that you get rid of the little air pockets by just smoothing it into the corner of your pie shell, just pushing it in, not pulling on your dough. Then you're gonna go ahead and take the extra strip of dough and just kind of fill it all in until it looks evenly distributed, okay? So as you can see here, I'm just patting the dough down with my fingertips, okay? Now I'm taking off the excess that's hanging off, and I'm gonna fill it in where it needs to fill in. Now you're gonna go ahead and make this little cute design. See how I have my finger here with my thumb and index finger, and then I push it in with my other index finger. So you use your thumb and one of your fingers to just know where you want to point that design to go into. So you see, just like that, very easy. This takes a bit of getting used to. You saw at the beginning how my pie crust was like falling apart, but I used the saran wrap to help me. Now you're gonna go ahead and fill it up. Make sure you evenly distribute this. Make sure your oven is preheating right now to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Preheat that oven. Then you're gonna go ahead and keep adding it and just kind of flatten out your apple, smooth it out like this, like that. Yes, yes, yes. Now we're gonna spread the crumble topping on here. Make sure you cover it, that you don't want to have any of your apples exposed. You want to make sure the apples are covered with this crumble topping, okay? This looks so good. So while I bake this in the oven, I'm gonna have a tray sitting under this pie so that when it begins to drip, it does not drip in my oven, okay? So once your oven is preheated, you're gonna bake this for about 50 to 60 minutes. You know it's done when your apple pie drippings begin to drip from the corners. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this. I can't wait to cut into this. Let this cool down for about 30 to 40 minutes. Yes, you gotta let it cool down and then cut into it. And let me tell you, this is delicious. Cut into your apple pie. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this. Let's taste it. Oh my gosh, this is so delicious and crumbly and crunchy. I hope you enjoy this recipe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.